Speaking of Josh Shapiro, we talked a little bit the other day with Emma about this article in Newsweek that Cenk Uygur wrote, "Don't Fall for the Misinformation Campaign." Josh Shapiro is the progressive choice for VP. And I figured it would be fun to take a look at this clip from TYT the other day where Cenk actually defends his position, kind of, but also doesn't even really seem to believe his own BS, in my opinion. If you guys watch this full TYT debate, I think that you'll quickly realize that, again, Cenk isn't even totally convinced of his own line. This debate really came off to me like one of those high school debate things where, you know, you're forced to argue a position that you don't actually agree with just for like the intellectual exercise of debate. To me, this whole debate, it came off that way with Cenk, where he was like, you know, spinning in the mud, trying to figure out how to spin Josh Shapiro as the progressive choice for VP, only to have to realize he's not really the progressive choice, or at least not the definitive progressive choice. Also interesting, you know, stuff in here, which leads me to believe that I'm not even sure if Cenk actually wrote this article. I'll get your opinion on that, Zach. Maybe I'm being a little bit too tinfoil hat, but I don't know, bro. This article seems like it exists. It was produced to manufacture consent within the progressive online and pro-Palestinian left for Josh Shapiro. And apparently Cenk's not even familiar with the contents of his own argument.
With this, they're already articulating this is a concern for them. I guess you're saying this is the progressive pick, but also like this is something that they're already telling you. Progressives are telling you. This is making us very, very uneasy. So how do you square those two? Because you say in this piece, he is the progressive pick. How do you make that case over someone like Walz, who has many of these same accomplishments and many more? You mentioned Shapiro is cutting taxes for corporations. Walz raised them. Walz also raised the capital gains tax. Walz, and an issue that you like to bring up constantly, you did it tonight, you always talk about it, paid family leave. Walz did that. He could then go on the trail and say, hey, I did that in my state, let's do it nationally. Shapiro doesn't have that in his arsenal.
But I'm not arguing against Walz. It feels like this debate is about the versus A, right? Is Shapiro the progressive pick or a progressive pick? And then, by the way, I didn't put the title on the piece. Newsweek did that.
No, that's in the copy.
Okay.
That's in the copy. You wrote that. You said it's got to stop. Shapiro is the progressive pick.
Okay.
I take back my joke about Gavin. That is pretty humiliating. That's pretty damning. The dude didn't even. Do you think it was Chat GPT? Do you think it was Chat GPT? I don't know. I'm kidding. How do you end up in that place where he got wrecked so hard on his own show? And it's not even going to crack people's radar because it's not that surprising that Cenk would pull something like this. But you're right. That's even more humiliating than I was expecting when you queued that up.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. And like I said, you can watch the whole debate. It's about 20 minutes long. Cenk doesn't ever really truly make a compelling case for why Josh Shapiro is the progressive pick for vice president. Like, I feel like I could come up with a better case for Josh Shapiro, just like, you know, pulling it right out of my ass if I really wanted to. Cenk didn't even seem convinced of his own argument, like I said. And Jordan was just like, what the hell are you talking about, bro? Like, here's a million reasons why that's clearly not true. There's other people being considered that are obviously more progressive in basically every way. What are you talking about here? So yeah, definitely weird.
Yeah. Without putting our tinfoil hats on too much, because now you've reeled me in, Gavin. At first I was ready to play the firm-hearted skeptic. I was like, of course he got paid. Like, well, he probably didn't put too much work into it. Yeah, it's crappy. But in my brain, he was just trying to drum up content, trying to come up, like create like a little bit of a debate between him and Jordan, maybe, or whomever else. I feel like I haven't seen Anna on TYT. I don't watch TYT that much, but she's been
on like, you know, a couple days out of the week and stuff.
I feel like I've just seen a lot more Jordan Uhl content, which I dramatically prefer. He seems to be the only real lefty remaining on the Young Turks network. But do you think he just had like an intern or like an aide or like maybe one of his nephews or somebody that was running around the neighborhood? He was like, hey kid, you know, I'll give you $50 to mow my lawn and another 50 to write my Newsweek article. Like, what do you think happened?
I mean, I don't know, bro. Like I said, I don't want to just straight up start making accusations, but it does give me the vibe that like someone from Shapiro's camp like sent out a list of like, hey, progressives, Shapiro's actually one of you, and here's a bunch of reasons why. Do you want to talk about this a little bit? Kind of like an unsubtle, like, attempt to get people like Cenk to start doing this kind of propaganda. I have no evidence to suggest that, but I'm not, I really have, I wouldn't be shocked. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be shocked. It's like in the film industry, a lot of times like, studios, they'll reach out to movie critics and be like, here's our movie. The critics, they're not loving it, but if you write us a nice review, we'll give you a couple bucks or whatever. Like put us, give us a good review on Rotten Tomatoes. It kind of seems like the political version of that, where like someone, probably not Shapiro himself, but like someone from that world might have like, again, sent some intel. Hey, Cenk.
PR is what we call it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's crazy if Cenk is falling for PR in his inboxes. I think we have to start questioning if TYT is in a real bad financial bind right now, guys. I know exactly how much we get paid from YouTube, right? Which is a miserable amount. I think our rate we get paid for every 1,000 views is like $2.14. Does that sound right, Gavin? Something along that
Probably
right?
something that depressing, yeah.
So that they can't even pay to keep the lights on probably in Los Angeles with the view count that they're getting. I'm not taking shots at them, guys. I'm just telling you that even if they were getting 10 million views a week, do you think that's fair? Do you think that's what they get?
I mean, they have their YouTube members.
Well, that's true. But just from YouTube alone, because you have all of the lights, all the equipment, all the studio space, air conditioning, taxes,
editors, graphic designers, all that.
And then you have to pay the main cast. You have to give those people health insurance. You have to, potentially offer them a 401k. You have money that you owe investors from, the $20 million that wasn't free. He spent it, and now they're going to want some sort of ROI or equity in the Young Turks, or they're going to want to change something about it to make their money back because they didn't just give you that money. And I doubt that their membership program is thriving. I doubt that their membership program is, burning down the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I have no idea. I mean, obviously, the race is now a lot hotter. People are interested again.
True.
So I'm sure they're benefiting just from the fact that people are actually tuned into politics and watching their horse race coverage. So I really don't know if they're in that desperate of a financial situation that Cenk would compromise himself to that extent. Again, I really don't know. It does look sus. Guys. I can't believe that, you would write a whole article doing essentially propaganda for this guy and then not even really be able to defend your own position on the microphone when you set up a debate to discuss this and to defend your obviously controversial position, your inaccurate position. That's the other thing. It's not just like a hot take. This is just an inaccurate position. It's not correct. Josh Shapiro is not the progressive pick for VP.